The greatest force that separates those who merely wish from those who truly achieve is the inner determination to push oneself beyond the borders of comfort, fear, and hesitation. Every person holds within them a seed of greatness, a seed capable of growing into towering achievements and astonishing possibilities, but this seed does not blossom in ease, nor does it sprout in indifference. It requires the pressure of discipline, the heat of persistence, and the unrelenting will to push forward until the impossible bends to the hand of determination and reveals itself as possible. When you look at the lives of those who have achieved greatness, you find a common thread woven through every story. It is not privilege, nor luck, nor circumstances that defined them. It was the decision to push themselves when every excuse whispered for them to stop. They believed when belief seemed foolish, they acted when hesitation seemed safe, they endured when surrender seemed inevitable. That is the difference, that is the power of pressing on. Possibility is not a gift handed to a select few. It is a mountain that all must climb, a door that only opens to those who refuse to stop knocking. The mind itself holds the key. What you believe, what you affirm to yourself, and what you demand from your own efforts determines how far you will go. Most people live within invisible fences built by their own thinking. They see a challenge and tell themselves it is too hard. They see a dream and convince themselves it is too distant. But those who push themselves tear down these fences. They refuse to be contained by small thinking. They demand more of themselves until the world, in time, concedes to their persistence. Consider this truth. Every great invention, every monumental achievement, every breakthrough in history was once considered impossible. Flying across oceans was impossible. Harnessing electricity was impossible. Reaching the stars was impossible. But those who pushed themselves refused to bow to the word impossible. They treated it as a temporary barrier, not a permanent reality. They understood that impossibility is merely the opinion of those who stop too soon. The moment you make up your mind to push yourself, a new energy awakens within you. Your mind sharpens, your imagination expands, your willpower strengthens. You find that strength does not come from what you already know you can do, but from demanding of yourself what you once doubted you could do. This demand creates growth. It stretches you beyond who you were yesterday and shapes you into someone capable of far more than you ever believed. Every excuse you have ever told yourself has been nothing more than a wall of your own construction. The belief that you are too tired, too unprepared, too ordinary. These are lies the mind tells to keep you safe in mediocrity. But life was not meant for mediocrity. Life was meant for expansion. Life was meant for the pursuit of what lies on the other side of your limitations. And the only way to reach it is to push yourself, to keep going until those walls crack, crumble, and fall. There will always be resistance. That is the nature of growth. Muscles strengthen only through resistance. Character deepens only through trial. Vision sharpens only through challenge. If you run from resistance, you run from growth. But if you embrace it, if you lean into the discomfort, you will find that resistance becomes the very tool that carves you into the person who can make everything possible. Many wait for motivation to appear before they act. They wait for the right moment, the right feeling, the perfect circumstances. But this waiting is a trap. The right time never comes. Motivation is not a gift to be received. It is a fire you must ignite by action. Push yourself first, act even when you don't feel ready, and you will find motivation running to catch up with you. Discipline creates momentum, and momentum creates results. Results breed confidence, and confidence transforms impossibility into possibility. Your mind is the master power. Whatever you feed it, it will multiply. If you feed it doubts, it will create obstacles. If you feed it courage, it will create opportunities. When you decide that nothing will stop you, When you affirm within yourself that you will press on regardless of fear, fatigue, or failure, your mind begins to rearrange circumstances in your favor. You begin to notice chances you once overlooked. You attract help you never expected. Life bends to the will of one who refuses to quit. Failure itself is not the end. Failure is the proof that you are in motion, that you are attempting, that you are striving. Each failure contains a lesson, a seed of success hidden for those willing to search for it. The only true failure is surrender. The only true defeat is refusal to rise again. Push yourself through failure, and you will discover that it was not a wall, but a doorway. Those who keep pushing transform failures into stepping stones, while those who give up transform failures into tombstones. Think of your potential as a reservoir of power, deep and vast, yet hidden beneath the surface. Most never tap into even a fraction of it, because they stop when the first strain appears. They believe their limits are real, when in truth they are only the edges of comfort. If you push past comfort, if you persist when it hurts, when it burns, when it exhausts you, you discover a deeper well of strength. This strength reveals itself only to the persistent, only to the relentless, only to those who push themselves until every possibility unfolds. Greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. It belongs to those who choose themselves. Every dream you carry within you is proof that you already have the potential to achieve it. Dreams are not random. They are signals of possibility. But they are not fulfilled by wishing. They are fulfilled by pushing. Pushing through doubt, pushing through fear, pushing through every obstacle that dares to stand between you and your destiny. You will face critics. You will face doubters. You will face those who tell you it cannot be done. Do not let their disbelief infect your mind. Their words are reflections of their own limits, not yours. Push yourself so far that their doubts fade into silence, drowned by the thunder of your achievement. Remember, nothing silences doubt like undeniable results. The greatest prison is the belief that you are powerless. The greatest freedom is the realization that your destiny is shaped by your choices, by your discipline, by your relentless pursuit. Every step you take toward your vision is a declaration that you refuse to be bound by limitations. Push yourself until freedom is not just a hope, but a reality. Push yourself until possibility is not just a dream, but your daily experience. Do not mistake comfort for happiness. Comfort may feel safe, but it steals from you the life you were created to live. Happiness is born from growth, from progress, from the satisfaction of conquering challenges and expanding your capacity. The happiest people are not those who avoided struggle, but those who embraced it, conquered it, and discovered the strength within themselves to rise above it. Your journey will not be easy. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The difficulty is the filter that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Push yourself because the road is steep. Push yourself because the night is long. Push yourself because the world will not hand you greatness. You must seize it. Every ounce of effort you pour into your dream builds you into someone worthy of that dream. Time will pass regardless of what you do. You can spend it wishing, or you can spend it working. You can watch others achieve, or you can join them. Every moment you delay is a moment lost forever. Push yourself now, because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Push yourself now, because the present is the only time you will ever own. And when exhaustion comes, when you feel you cannot take another step, remember this truth. The body is capable of far more than the mind believes. The moment you feel like quitting is not the end. It is the beginning of real growth. Push past that point, and you will discover strength you never knew you had. Push past that point, and you will awaken a version of yourself that is unstoppable. Do not settle for what is easy. Do not settle for what is average. Push yourself until you stand on the summit of your vision. Push yourself until everything that once seemed out of reach is now within your grasp. Push yourself until the word impossible vanishes from your vocabulary. Because the truth is this: everything is possible to the one who believes and acts with relentless persistence. Everything is possible to the one who pushes beyond the barriers of fear and doubt. Everything is possible to the one who refuses to stop until the door opens, until the mountain yields, until the dream is fulfilled. So I say to you, push yourself when it hurts, push yourself when it's hard. Push yourself when the world says no. Push yourself until everything is possible, because everything is possible to the one who refuses to quit. The strength of the human spirit is tested not in the times of ease, but in the seasons of struggle. It is when your back is against the wall, when the night seems endless, and when the weight of your goals feels unbearable, that your true character is revealed. In those moments, you must whisper to yourself that quitting is not an option. You must remind yourself that your vision is worth the sacrifice, worth the sweat, worth the long nights and early mornings. Push yourself through the resistance, for resistance is proof that you are on the edge of transformation. Many people stop when they are just inches away from their breakthrough. They give in to discouragement just before the tide is about to turn in their favor. They convince themselves that the effort is wasted, that the struggle is too much, that their dream was never meant to be. But if only they had pushed themselves a little further, if only they had endured a little longer, they would have seen the reward waiting just beyond the bend in the road. That is why persistence is the rarest and most powerful of virtues. The ability to continue when every fiber of your being cries out for rest is the dividing line between those who live with regret and those who live with triumph. Think of the power that comes when you realize that you are not competing with anyone else but yourself. The greatest battle is not against the world, but against your own doubts, your own fears, your own habits of hesitation. Push yourself not to prove others wrong, but to prove yourself right. Prove that the fire in your heart is stronger than the obstacles in your path. Prove that the dream within you is greater than the excuses around you. You were not born to simply exist. You were born to expand, to create, to climb heights that inspire others to believe in their own potential. Every time you push yourself, you do more than transform your own life. You give permission to others to rise as well. Your courage becomes their courage. Your perseverance becomes their inspiration. Your victories become proof that possibility is not reserved for a chosen few, but available to anyone bold enough to push themselves until the impossible becomes real. Remember that the world rewards action. Ideas remain lifeless until you breathe energy into them with effort. Plans remain dormant until you move on them with courage. Dreams remain fantasies until you push yourself to make them tangible. Push with your mind, push with your will, push with your faith, and you will see doors open where walls once stood. So never shrink back when the path is hard. Never surrender when the night is long. Every step you take in persistence builds a future where possibility is no longer a question but a certainty. Push yourself until every chain is broken, until every barrier falls, until everything you desire is no longer a distant hope but a living reality. Push yourself until everything is possible, because in truth everything already is. You only need the courage to claim it. The path of greatness is often lonely, and that loneliness becomes the true test of your determination. There will be times when no one sees the vision you carry, when no one understands the fire that keeps you awake at night, when no one applauds the sacrifices you make in silence. It is in those times that you must summon the strength to push yourself. For greatness does not wait for approval, and destiny does not seek permission. If you wait for the world to cheer you on before you move, you will never take the first step. Push yourself, not because others believe in you, but because you have chosen to believe in yourself. Possibility responds only to those who demand it with relentless action. The universe does not reveal its treasures to the half-hearted. It opens its vaults to the ones who refuse to be denied, to those who rise again after defeat, to those who continue pressing forward even when logic says to quit. Every time you push yourself beyond the ordinary, you step into the extraordinary. Every time you challenge the voice of doubt with the voice of determination, you break the chains that hold you back. You may stumble, and you may fall. You may face doors slammed in your face, opportunities that slip away, efforts that seem wasted. But these moments are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to prepare you. They are the forge in which your character is refined, your faith is strengthened, and your vision is clarified. The struggle is not your enemy. It is your teacher. Push yourself through the struggle, and you will discover that it was shaping you into the person capable of holding the success you seek. Every great achievement is born twice, first in the mind, then in reality. The dream within you is the first birth. The second birth requires effort, persistence, and the willingness to push through every obstacle. The dream that dies in the mind alone is nothing but a wish. The dream that is carried into action through relentless pushing is the one that transforms the world. Think of those who stopped pushing too soon. Their dreams faded, their potential wasted, their lives filled with quiet regret. Now think of those who pushed themselves beyond exhaustion, beyond rejection, beyond fear. They became the authors of history, the innovators of change, the builders of nations, the lights of inspiration for generations. Which life will you choose? The answer lies not in your circumstances, but in your willingness to push yourself beyond the limits you once believed were unbreakable. Do not underestimate the quiet power of consistency. Greatness is not achieved in a single leap, but in the steady, relentless steps taken day after day, long after the excitement has faded, long after the applause has died down. It is in those unseen moments, when you are tired and tempted to quit, that your destiny is decided. Push yourself then, for it is those hidden acts of persistence that accumulate into visible triumph. And as you continue this journey, remind yourself that nothing in life worth having comes without effort. The mountain does not lower itself to meet the climber. The climber must ascend to meet the mountain. The dream does not chase you. You must chase it with all the fire of your being. Push yourself until your vision becomes reality, until your voice silences every doubt, until your life becomes living proof that everything is possible to the one who refuses to stop. The greatest illusion that holds people back is the belief that they must wait for the perfect time before they act. They convince themselves that tomorrow will be better, that circumstances will align, that strength will somehow appear without effort. But perfection never comes. The right time is always now. When you push yourself in the present, you create the conditions for progress. Waiting does nothing but waste the most valuable resource you have, time. Time once lost will never return. Every day you delay is a day your dream remains imprisoned. But every day you push yourself, you bring that dream closer to freedom. Fear will always whisper reasons to stop. It will tell you that you are not ready, not worthy, not capable. Fear thrives in hesitation. But when you take action in spite of fear, its voice weakens. When you push yourself forward even while trembling, you prove to yourself that courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. Each time you act boldly, you silence fear more and more, until one day it becomes nothing but an echo of what once held you back. Do not underestimate the value of small victories. Too often people look only at the grand goal and become overwhelmed by its size. They forget that every mountain is climbed one step at a time. Push yourself for one more step, one more effort, one more attempt. Every little act compounds, every effort accumulates, and soon you will find yourself standing at heights you once thought unreachable. This secret is not in sudden leaps of progress, but in the daily decision to keep moving forward when it would be easier to stand still. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. Desire without discipline is nothing more than a fleeting wish. Discipline transforms desire into reality. Discipline is the act of pushing yourself when the mood is gone, when inspiration fades, when all that remains is your commitment. Push yourself with discipline, and you will see how the impossible bends before you. There will be moments when the weight of your vision feels crushing. There will be nights when doubt surrounds you like a storm. In those moments, remember why you began. Remember the fire that first ignited your dream. Let that vision become your fuel. Push yourself not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Push yourself because you know that giving up would cost more than any struggle ever could. At the end of your life, you will not regret the times you pushed yourself. You will not regret the sacrifices, the sweat, the hours invested, the failures endured. You will only regret the moments when you could have done more but chose not to. You will regret the dreams abandoned, the goals left incomplete, the possibilities you never claimed. Do not allow that regret to be your story. Push yourself now so that your future self will thank you. Push yourself until your life stands as undeniable proof that everything truly is possible. In the end, the truth is simple yet profound. Life does not hand its rewards to the hesitant, the half-hearted, or the weak in spirit. Life yields its treasures to those who demand more of themselves than others believe possible. Everything you desire, everything you dream, everything you imagine is waiting for you beyond the line where most people quit. Push yourself to cross that line. Push yourself until the impossible bends and breaks before your determination. Push yourself until fear bows, until doubt fades, until every door that once seemed locked swings wide open before your persistence. For when you refuse to stop, when you refuse to surrender, when you push yourself with unshakable faith and relentless effort, you will discover that nothing was ever truly impossible. You will discover that everything is possible.